Hello, welcome
You're welcome.
to our series Before
You say I'm done.
This is video 5,
Day 4.
day 4. Last video we were talking about wounded wives, and we're going to continue again in this video. So, to save time, we'll now just delve straight into it.
Yeah, because really, when you're hurt and the angry feeling is not let out, if it builds up over time, it takes a decision. It takes humility. It takes a decision to surrender to God, to be able to communicate what really went wrong to your partner.
And you need grace, you need help to do that, because when emotions are in ascendancy, it can cause a lot of don't let me say a lot, but it can cause you to be reluctant
Exactly.
to make the move for reconciliation. You don't look. So that's why you cannot knock off the need through prayer to be humble.
Yes.
And just say, okay,
Let
I
me
desire a resolution of this conflict.
Exactly. And that's why we're making this appeal. As you stay with us, please just make that decision. But it has to be done with prayer. Because prayer will now prepare your heart.
Yes.
It's not something you can do
Wow.
with your own willpower. Make a decision, but not that alone. Then you pray. Then there'll be grace
Yes.
to be able to communicate in a healthy way your hurt. If it means going back to what happened a year, 2 years, 3 years, that made you to close off, that made you to disconnect emotionally. If it means doing that, in fact, it will mean doing that.
Yeah.
But what does the healthy communication look like? I think we should.
Okay, let's give
Some
examples.
Examples.
Like there was an occasion, my wife was, I like to use that word now, pissed off with somebody close to us. So, with the anger and the hurt, she sent a text. And she sent a copy of the text to me. When I read it, I said, wow,
This is too harsh.
It's too harsh. That, I felt that what we are trying to convey would be lost because it was too harsh. Let me just stay with that description. It was too harsh. So I knew I had to make her see that it was too harsh because she was still boiling. So I took time to pray. So we're not advocating what we have not done. I took time to pray. I won't tell you the length of time I took to pray. But I prayed until I felt God would truly help me convey to her the harshness in the text, so that what she wanted to achieve will now be achieved later on to mend the relationship. So after praying, I now called her, and I didn't go say, this is...
Yeah.
I just said, this text you said, can we review it? Can we read it together and maybe see if maybe you need to reconstruct some things? And that was it.
And you said it in a nice way too. I mean, the body language. And because I know him, I mean, he could have just said, you should have just calmed down now before sending this. But, I was taken aback. The way so, I mean, everything just calmed down within me. And I said, okay, yeah. Even without going through it, I know I did it in the heat of the moment. I really should have calmed down before sending it to her. And it made a whole world of difference. Just taking time to pray,
Pray.
and then communicating in a way that did not aggravate
The situation on ground.
Yeah. And I can also recall there was a time, when we're someplace and an issue happened and I was annoyed. So
seriously
before
annoyed.
I got more matured, I'm still on the maturity journey. Before I got more matured concerning presentation, is my husband anyway, I can, I discovered that, no, you don't talk to your man anyhow. So I knew that. So I took time, I prayed.
We are not knocking off the place of prayer. Please.
It's important.
Hey.
Prayer is not just mouthing words. It's asking for God's help.
It's not just a religious exercise. No, it is a deep cry from that in this situation,
yes, I need you,
help.
Lord.
We don't want it to escalate and go out of control. And
now my body language, I was conscious of it, and it calmed down immediately, just the same way. So it's something we know works.
Yeah.
No matter how hurt, no matter how disturbed you are, please pray and then make the presentation.
Yes.
Because when you say a lot, sin is not ended by multiplying words, but the prudent hold their tongues. That's Proverbs 10:19. So there's some things that you would have, all the gymnastics, do it in prayer, that God, I'm hurt, God, I'm not happy, and all of that. Because body language, like we said, matters. Because if you want to communicate and you are like rolling your eyes, arms akimbo, doing all sorts of shaking head, clasping hand, and please do all that in prayer. Let it go out in prayer so that by the time you want to communicate, it will be easier.
And when you pray, because sometimes you need to pray ahead so that when the desired response you want to get is not initially forthcoming, you don't lose control.
Yes.
That's why I said, don't roll your eyes. I need it. No. It's like, God, this thing must be resolved. This hurt I'm feeling, I must communicate it and let my spouse know how I really feel. So please note.
Asking for God's help. Even when your whole body is screaming, no way, but He will help you.
Yes.
And also, lastly, we need to talk about our perspective. We may not see things the same way.
Exactly.
Viewpoints.
Yeah.
But different doesn't mean wrong. You may not see things the same way. Just be curious. Attempt to understand. Just because you are different doesn't mean what you're saying doesn't make sense. Exactly. It can even be powerful when you decide to use that different viewpoint. I say, okay, I didn't see it that way. You could do it. So that will help when you are trying to sort out the issues. And
again, I'll still say that's why you need to pray, because it takes maturity to understand that being different is not equal to rebellion. It's not resistance. It's not stubbornness. It's just that I see this in this manner. Oh, my wife sees it in that way. Okay, let me try and understand her viewpoint. Not that. Isn't that what I always say? You never listen. You never do that. No.
That won't work.
That won't work.
And please forgive. There's a need to forgive.
Yeah. Which will come again when God has really taught your heart that, look, I want this thing settled. I don't want to carry this hurt. I don't want to carry this tension, because there will be tension, whether it's apparent or not. But deep colored to deep. If things are not right, you just know something isn't. Yeah. So please.
So we'll be coming on again. Please stay with us tomorrow. And don't forget to share, to like, and to comment. Thank you.
Thank you.